What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to go over how to win every new mode in Fall Guys Season 3. Now, we did this for Season 2. I'm going to keep the talking very, very brief, and I'm just going to jump right into it. I do want to have a disclaimer that I've played this game. I've played Season 3 for around 6 hours, and I have yet to experience Penguin Pursuit, which is the kind of like chasing and holding the penguin. I've not been able to play it. I'm going to exclude it from this list. I am terribly, terribly sorry. And in Roll-Off, I was unable to win it, but I'm going to give you guys the tips that I think I've learned while losing a couple times to be able to get you guys through it, okay? So that's all the talking I'm going to do. We're going to jump right into it. Okay, so first we have Tundra Run. Now, I really think this is around the easiest one. Obviously, this is a racing mode. There's not too much to keep in mind here, but there are a few things. For the beginning, it's pretty simplistic. You just go. I think what you're going to probably find in this mode is you're going to get trapped with basically everybody. There's really no way of avoiding this unless you stay behind everybody. The snowballs, if they hit you, I know actually in this run I do a pretty good job of not being hit. Actually, I'm probably going to show you guys a couple different versions, but if you get hit, no big deal. For this part, when the punching bags come out, honestly, you could get hit by them. You'll just fly off to the bottom. No big deal. You could just kind of zigzag. This part, I honestly do think you should do what I did. Take the let the wind carry you. You don't have to. I don't think it's a make or break moment for this level. I let the wind carry me, and then I try to hit myself on one of those two platforms. As you can see, they're kind of attached to like the stage that you're still walking on, so you won't fall off of them. I always go on the sides. Going through the middle is too difficult for me. Pretty simplistic. Just watch out for those things. Then the fan, the goddamn fan. What I would advise is get as far up as you can and constantly be pushing up on your controller while the fan is pushing you so that nothing happens to you, okay? That's what I would say. Also, try and start it when the fan is on one full side. So if it's on the far right, you start going up the far left. If it's on, same things. Actually, you can kind of see it from other people doing it, but you want to always be pushing up on the controller. And then these launch pads, best way I found, you can get the whole thing, and you've probably seen other people do it, where they kind of fly from one thing to the other. You can totally do that. Nothing wrong with it. I find jumping on them to be the best thing instead of like rolling, instead of walking on them. Again, once you hit one, and if it lands you directly on a second one, it is pretty easy to allow that second one to fling you. But I would say jump. Try to stop yourself and jump on them. You'll get you will be guaranteed like an accurate fly across, right? Whereas if you kind of land on it, maybe it doesn't take you all the way. That's what I would advise for Tundra Run. Okay, we're going to go to an ending one now. Thin Ice, and these could be all kind of messed up. Thin Ice is tough. It's easier, I think, in some ways than Hexagon, and it's harder in some ways than Hexagon. I think the general idea is kind of the same. Now, here's the deal. I did win this one. I've won this one before, and I think I came in second another time. You see everybody running around. I don't think there's anything wrong with running around, especially in the beginning, just because, there's 3 levels to all of the ice, okay? You need to have all of them break. My strategy, and it did work, was kind of just keep to myself. Now, again, it is a little bit like the Hexagon one, where you gotta try to find yourself in a little corner where it's just you. If people start, bumping into you, I've seen people try and like push me off. I've seen people kind of invading my space when there is only one level left. I mean, it's tough. This one is more of like you just gotta get lucky in your placement, although there is a few things you can do. This one is a whole lot easier than Hexagon because it's ice, it's slippery, and you can actually kind of gain speed where you can jump bigger distances than you could before. Now, again, as you can see, like I'm standing on the thing. You don't have to jump like you do Hexagon. It takes 3 times for it to fall. And again, you kind of just have to get yourself in a spot where nothing's going to happen. I mean, people, like you'll see here, like they invade my spot. But unlike Hexagon, again, you can make these kind of jumps. I kind of just got lucky here, honestly. Again, like in the beginning, I would say do whatever you want. I've seen people try to go for like the high ground ones because obviously there's sometimes like ices around that are still pretty darn high while others are on like the last level. Maybe you try and do that. Again, I think just trying to mind your own business, basically. Don't get too close to anybody else is probably the best thing I can say for Thin Ice. Ski Fall. Now, Ski Fall is actually really fun. I really enjoy it personally. At the same time, I think that it is kind of weird, and I think when you first play it, you're going to find it's pretty weird. So basically, here's how it goes. I thought that the hoops actually had values to them. They don't. The first circle, any hoop in that first circle is worth 1. Any hoop in the second circle is worth 2. And then those final ones, I think they're worth 1, 2, and 5. They could be worth like 1, 3, and 5. I know the gold one is 5. What I would say here, and I didn't do it here, a great tips and tricks video, right, is try to hit all of the hoops. You know, just try to go through all of them. Don't try and reach for anything like in particular. Go for the one you feel comfortable with. I like to do that kind of jump before I dive. I think it makes it easier for me to kind of place where I'm going to go. And then this last one, the thing with that is kind of what I did is you need air time, and you also kind of need a straight shot. You have those fans that make it a bit difficult to do anything. You have the platforms that can pop you off. So I would say, you know, just try your best. Honestly, like, you know, aim for any hoop that you want and just try and stay on, like, see, I almost hit the thing that flings me off. Stay on the map. It doesn't even matter which hoop you go through. See, right there, I don't even care that I didn't get the gold hoop. It doesn't really matter. Just go through anything that you can. I would say, as long as you're not constantly only hitting that first circle, falling off, and doing that over and over, you would need to do it 15 times if you did that. If you did all of them, you're guaranteed 4 to maybe 9 hoops. So if you make it all the way through without falling off, you can, you know, you only need to do that like 2.5 times and you're finished. So that's what the biggest thing I would say. Don't worry too much about what size of a hoop you're jumping through. Bigger thing is just try and stay on the platform where you're not falling off, which I would say is relatively easy when you get used to it. Freezy Peak is the other race one. I really, really like this one. Honestly, I think this one is a little bit more clever than, I think this one's actually kind of clever more than a lot of the other ones. Now, there's some tough parts to this. Actually, I would say there's only one tough part that I have my strategy for, I've seen other people do strategies for, and we want to talk about it. The beginning, pretty simplistic. You just run forward. Now, these beginning things do change each time. Sometimes they're these platforms, sometimes they're things that do other things. There always will be those 2 fans. There'll always be the snowball. There'll always be the thing that goes down. You just constantly move up. And you try and angle yourself, by the way, in those beginning fans where the fans don't blow you backwards, okay? So now you're in this part. Now, these 2 fans, I don't know if I'm going to show it to you guys or not, but the best thing I would say is stop yourself in between. Get on the first fan, land in between the 2, reset yourself, and then go on the second one. To me, that's the best way of doing it. And it really, because if somebody hits you while you're flying midair, your character is going to start doing that stupid rolling thing, and you're going to get knocked off. This part, as you guys are seeing, this is how I handle it. One step at a time, really. Let every single one just go off and then go in between them. I found that to work. Now, I've seen other people go on the left side where the snowball is rolling down. I think that also works. I think the best way of doing that is going, when you see a snowball, you go in between the platforms, and then you come back. Like, you kind of zigzag left and right, back and forth. Honestly, to me, that's the best way I think there is. I actually think my method is fine. It is a lot slower, so if you're doing it when you're at the back of the pack, you're probably going to lose. But if you can separate yourself from people in the beginning, I honestly think you're going to be just fine. There's only 2 more, Snowy Scrap, and then obviously the, I think, Roll Off is the final one. So Snowy Scrap, I'll tell you this, I had no idea what I was doing with this one the very first time I played it. I don't read directions, so I didn't see what it actually said to do. For this, what I would say is you gotta work as a team. I mean, there's not many more tips and tricks to give than that, because if your team is not working with you, now, I'm more of like an ego kind of guy myself. Maybe I come off like that. I do try to kind of lead the pack, and so maybe I'm doing it the wrong way, or maybe like maybe the other teammates aren't happy with the way that I'm going, but you want to get this on as much snow as possible. Now, what I do think works, which I think I try to do a little bit in this video, is the ball is very difficult to move, especially as it gets bigger. So I kind of relied on my team to do the pushing from the back, and I got on one of the sides to kind of steer it. Like, it would basically hit me on the side, and then I would push it towards somewhere else. I do use those punching things, as you guys have seen me doing. I mean, the ball gets away from you, and maybe that loses you time that you don't want to lose, but it can get you in that middle section, I would say, a lot easier. This is what I was talking about. See how I go on the side, and I basically hit it hits my body and it changes direction. I think that works really well. But again, bigger than anything, you just need a team. You need a team that's willing to push, in the same kind of direction. I think as long as you have a coordinated team, you're gonna be able to get it on the snow. The snow does regenerate, so just try and go to areas obviously you haven't gone yet, but you can always go back to areas you've been to before. Again, if your team is not with you, if you guys are pushing the ball, and like even right there, you see a small example. There were other times where I actually lost this mode because like the team and me we're not on the same page. We were pushing in different directions and we weren't really getting anywhere. And again, you kind of even see that a little bit in this video. Sometimes we're pushing in opposite directions. Sometimes we can't see each other, which isn't exactly fair, right, to any of us. It's not really our fault, but that's the situation. Not the hardest thing in the world, I would say, as long as you have a team to do it with you. Okay, and then there's roll off. So again, I mean, I have a clip of me losing this and I have a clip of my friend losing this, and they're not long clips. Honestly, what I would say, because I did actually make it kind of far one of the times, I would say you need to have a good use of your camera. Your camera needs to be really, really good, because when you switch platforms, you need to be able to spin your camera the right way, which I don't really show. Right? I don't even know if I capture the one that I made it super fun. I think I made it to like the top 3 in one of the matches, but I would say that's the best way of doing it, is moving your camera so that you can see what's upcoming. Besides that, I would honestly say going back and forth. You see people jumping. I do that jump as well to bridge those very small gaps in platforms. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But again, it's really a game of moving the camera. You need to go to one platform, spin around so you're seeing what's coming next, and then go. As this thing goes faster, I mean, you do want to be in the middle. I know for like a roll, or whatever it's called, roll out, when you do that, you do have time where you can you can take the risk of it rolling you all the way almost to the edge, and then you switch platforms. When this thing gets faster, I would say don't even try and take that risk. Just try to go back and forth in like the middle so that you're not towards like the edge of it, like falling off of it. That's pretty much the best thing I can say there. Again, I won thin ice, but I did not win this. And again, that other one, the grabbing the penguin one, I don't know what that is. I played this game for so many hours and I did not reach it. Same thing with Egg Siege back in season 2. I played the game for like, again, 5 or 6 hours. I got it one time. I played that mode one time. This time I didn't play it at all. So I think it's actually impossible to play that mode, so I don't really think anybody needs to know my tips for it. Guys, let me know what you guys thought of it. Hopefully I helped you guys out, or if you have any tips or tricks yourself for other people, definitely let us know in the comments below. As always, make sure you guys are subscribed. Make sure you guys have the bell icon turned on so you know when all these videos go up. I've been doing this for all the seasons. I hope to do it for as many seasons as Fall Guys does. You guys can follow me on Twitter or any of my other social media stuff if you want to. Links for all of them are in the description below, and I hope to see you guys on the next video.